said, quote, they, these ICE officials, asked me, so Sheriff, if someone is about to be released from your jail and the detainer is about to expire, you will call us and let us know? What was my answer? You said, no, because that's not what the law says. No, I will not call ICE. End quote. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, you did. And sir, Senator, that was before the new law, which is now House Bill 318, which requires me to make that second phone call.
Yeah.
Prior to that, it was not state law, which I follow and all my deputies follow.
Sure.
So now we do make that second phone call. But ICE agents are notified whenever someone is entered into my process, into my jail.
Do you need some water? Because I think your pants are on fire. Do you remember a gentleman by the name of Carlos Heriberto Mendoza Martinez?
Not right off, sir.
Okay. Sheriff, you should. He was in our country illegally from Mexico. He was in the street gang. Back in Mexico, he was convicted of manslaughter. And he was in your jail. And because in 2021 and 2024, Mr. Martinez was arrested for assaulting a woman and domestic violence. And ICE placed a detainer on this guy because he was in our country legally. And he was a criminal. And he was in your jail. And you wouldn't honor that detainer, would you?
I can't say that I did not honor the detainer.
I can.
I can say what I did honor was the conditions of the release that were issued by a judge. And so therefore, and once again, ICE was notified that they could come.
Do you really believe in public safety?
Yes, sir, I do.
You would allow someone in our country, illegal, convicted of manslaughter, convicted of domestic violence, in your jail. ICE says, please hold him when his time is up. We want to get this criminal out of our country. And you said no.
ICE was notified that they could come pick up the individual, and for some reason they did not. And the judge issued the conditions of release. I am a custodian.
Sheriff, I don't mean any disrespect, but you ought to be ashamed of that. How can you possibly be for public safety if you hate our immigration laws so much that you would let a convicted murderer back on the street? Do you really hate immigration laws that much?
Senator, it's not a matter that I hate immigration law.
You could have fooled me, Sheriff.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your service. You're now in charge. I gotta go
Senator, please.
Mr. President, are we on the phone call?
No.
Okay. Mr. President, I want to speak briefly about two subjects. They're different. They're both important, but they're different. Let me start with the reconciliation bill, which President Trump and others called one big beautiful bill. I continue to go through the bill, and every time I do, I'm impressed. This is a breathtaking bill in the sense that it covers so many subjects. I think each of us could spend hours talking about this bill. I'll just hit the highlights. This is one of the most far-reaching pieces of legislation that this body will never pass. We extended the 2017 tax cuts, no small feat in itself. Had we not done that, the American people would have suffered under a $4.3 trillion tax increase. So we stopped that tax increase. And some of my friends and colleagues talk about, well, all you did was stop the tax increase on the billionaires. That is nonsense. That is nonsense on a stick. Unless your soup of the day is gin, you know that is a lie. Half of that tax increase would have hit working men, and the other half would have hit our small businesses, and yes, some of our large businesses. We stopped that. We made some of those tax cuts permanent. We cut taxes on tips. In this bill, we cut taxes on overtime. We cut taxes on Social Security. We cut taxes on car loans. We expanded a tax credit for child care to help moms and dads pay for the child care so they can work. We increased the child tax credit. We increased the standard deduction. And that's going to take effect immediately. We funded school choice. For years and years and years, I have tried, we all have tried, many of us have tried to provide the American people, moms and dads, with school choice. This bill did. You know, I went to a public school. I'm proud of that. But competition makes all of us better. I can go to my overpriced Capitol Hill apartment or Capitol Hill grocery store and choose from 6 or 7 types of mayonnaise. Why shouldn't we give parents, moms and dads, choices for their kids' education? We're doing that with the school choice portion of this bill. We increase money for the poor. And we increased money for defense. Now we also addressed the problem in Medicaid, and I've been very disappointed because some commentators have said that we're going to throw off from the Medicaid rolls. I've read anywhere from 10 to 12 million people. And the implication in some